Welcome to Frame 70 Movie and TV Reviews. I'm Fraser, and today we're taking a look at Disclosure Day, the 2026 film directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, and Coleman Domingo. This review is completely spoiler-free and focused on one simple question. Is it worth your time? Let's find out. As soon as I heard Spielberg was returning to the world of extraterrestrial mysteries, my interest shot through the roof. This is a filmmaker who has built some of the most iconic science fiction films ever made. Close Encounters, E.T., War of the Worlds. He has a remarkable ability to take stories about the unknown and make them feel both spectacular and deeply human. I'll be honest, I'm a little hit and miss with his filmography. Some of his films rank among my all-time favorites. Jaws is still one of the greatest films ever made, full stop. But Disclosure Day felt immediately like Spielberg stepping back into territory that truly suits him. The premise is intriguing, the mystery is compelling, and once the story gets moving, it becomes genuinely difficult to look away. The biggest strength here is the character work. While this is built around a large science fiction mystery, Spielberg spends much of the running time developing the people at the center of it. By the time the bigger moments arrive, you actually care, and that makes the emotional payoff land so much harder. Emily Blunt is the standout for me. She brings both vulnerability and real determination to the role, carrying much of the film's emotional weight, and it's another reminder of just how consistently good she is. Coleman Domingo is excellent too. He has a natural screen presence that makes every scene feel significant, and he delivers some of the film's strongest dramatic moments. The pleasant surprise, though, was Colin Firth stepping into a more antagonistic role. We don't see him play that kind of character very often, and he absolutely makes the most of it. It adds a really interesting dynamic to the whole story. The visual effects are outstanding. Spielberg has always understood that spectacle works best when it's supporting the story rather than replacing it, and that's very much the case here. There are sequences involving a house and a train that are genuinely stunning. And the film's use of archival footage throughout is a clever touch that helps blur the line between fiction and reality in a way that strengthens the mystery considerably. What I appreciated most was that Disclosure Day explores some ideas around extraterrestrial life that feel a little fresher than what we've seen recently. It doesn't reinvent the genre, but it brings enough new ideas to give you something to think about long after the credits roll. My one criticism is the opening act. The first 15 to 20 minutes feel noticeably slower than the rest of the film. Spielberg is clearly laying important groundwork, but the pacing doesn't quite have the momentum that arrives later on. If I had been watching at home rather than in a cinema, I might have been tempted to skip forward a little. The good news is that once the second act kicks in, that concern disappears almost entirely. The narrative builds real momentum, the character relationships deepen, and the mystery pulls you in. The frame 70 moment comes during the film's final stretch, when the story returns to the news facility and all the threads begin coming together. Without giving anything away, Spielberg lets the full emotional and visual impact of the story off the leash. It's tense, it's exciting, and most importantly, it delivers the payoff the film has spent 2 hours earning. Genuinely satisfying cinema. Disclosure Day is a strong return to familiar territory for Steven Spielberg. Strong performances, impressive visuals, a genuinely compelling mystery, and a fantastic final act that more than rewards your patience with the slower start. If you're a Spielberg fan, a science fiction fan, or someone who just enjoys a well-crafted mystery that keeps you guessing, there's a very good chance you'll have a great time with this one. The Frame 70 verdict for Disclosure Day. I really enjoyed that. Thanks for listening to Frame 70 movie and TV reviews. If you enjoyed today's review, you can follow Frame 70 wherever you get your podcasts and find us at frame70.com. And before we go, let's remember something that sits right at the heart of this show. Movies are subjective. The way a film impacts me might be completely different to the way it impacts you. A movie I connect with might leave someone else completely cold. A film that doesn't work for me might become one of your all-time favorites. And that's okay. That's part of what makes movies worth talking about in the first place. There are no right or wrong opinions here, only different experiences. So watch widely, stay curious, and remember, movies are subjective. Until next time, I'm Fraser, and this has been Frame 70.